Hi everybody, well it's time for cruise tip number 30. Well, this one is kind of a hard one because it happens in so many different ways. And we're talking about the difference between the time and the ship time. So we all know that you should be back to the cruise ship before it sails, right? They say we're sailing, you got to be back on board at 5 o'clock, we're sailing at 5:30, 5 o'clock is the deadline. You know you should be back on the ship. Trouble is, depending on the cruise line, sometimes even depending on the cruise you're on, the time can change multiple times, right? It can change, transatlantics can change 6 times on a cruise when you're traveling across. Well, the ship time will often change with the port you're on, but sometimes it'll change ahead of time. And some people don't bother to change their phones, they don't bother to change their computers to the new time. They say, I'll remember, and then they don't. But another thing is, some cruise lines never change the ship time no matter where you are. So if they're going to a destination that will change its time once and not, sometimes they'll just keep the ship time. They will not change it when you arrive in those areas. So you have to be aware of that situation. If the time zone there is different than your ship, when the ship says it's leaving at 5 o'clock, it's leaving at 5 o'clock ship time, no matter where you are in the world. Whatever the time on the ship, that's the time you need to be back. So be aware of any time zone changes. Be aware of the time that your ship is saying that it is. And yeah, it can be very, very confusing sometimes with multiple time zone changes. I mean, I've been on cruises where we'll move the clock forward one day, move it back the next day, move it back again the day after that. And I like, what's going on? What's happening? But yeah, just be aware of the time change and always return according to the ship time.